What's going on, people, and welcome to another Premier League predictions for game week 19. There's one game today, and then there's a ton tomorrow on Tuesday, and then Wednesday as well, and also Thursday and the following Thursday to end off the game week. Let me know your predictions in the comments. I love doing these videos. Appreciate everyone that watches and takes part in them. That is what it's for, the community, the comments section, for you guys to come and share your thoughts about football, your team. It's a football channel, so yeah. Hope you enjoy it, guys. Get into it. First up tonight, 5:30 kickoff to start off the game week with Brentford versus Liverpool. Now, I'm hearing mixed messages about Ivan Toney and whether he's going to be fit. Obviously, he went down with, I believe it was a knee injury. For debate whether he's going to be available or not, and I don't really know how I feel about it. I don't have him in my fantasy team, so it's not too much of a panic for me. But if he's not available, it's going to be a huge loss for Brentford because he's so on form, and obviously in the last game got an assist and a goal. So I think if he's not available, it's a lot tougher. I don't think that they necessarily will lose the game if they don't have him, but it's a very hard task if he ain't there. So I've gone 2-1 Brentford, and that is kind of dependent on if he is available, but I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford in an upset. Or is it an upset? Because of how the season's panning out, Liverpool are not truly on form, as they have been. And Brentford are one of them teams that are flying high with confidence and getting a lot of results, and they're at home. So I'm going 2-1 home for Brentford. And into tomorrow's games, we got 4 of them. 7:45 kickoff, Arsenal versus Newcastle. This could be one of the games of the season. I hope it lives up to it. Both teams I love watching. Both teams with huge momentum and confidence, and a turnaround in fortune in terms of their recent history. I hope it turns out that way. I hope there's a lot of goals. I've gone for a lot of goals in my prediction, and I've gone with a 3-2 home win to Arsenal. I know there's a long way to go yet, but this is the sort of game and result, if Arsenal can win it, that could bode them well to getting that title. So, look, I still think City are favourites for the title, even though Arsenal are top by a distance at the moment. But Newcastle are really trying to chase down that pack as well. Football's exciting at the moment in terms of the unpredictability and the competitiveness. This could even be a draw, or Newcastle, imagine they get an away win. But I'm going to go 3-2 home win for Arsenal. Next up, we've got Everton versus Brighton. Also 7:45 kickoff. I've gone with a 2-2 draw in this one. Everton, bit inconsistent at the moment. Brighton, similar as well. I expected more from them against Arsenal the other day, and they just didn't show up. I think they will bounce back in some form in this game. Goodison Park, though, tricky place to go and get something. I've gone with a 2-2. Leicester City versus Fulham. Also another 7:45 kickoff. Leicester City struggling this year a lot, and Fulham are on a roll. They're doing a ton better than I thought they would do, and I think most people thought they would. I think they're 7th at the moment. I think they will continue that form. Leicester are just not on it. And I've gone for a 2-1 away win to Fulham. And then lastly, for tomorrow's games, we've got Manchester United versus Bournemouth for 8 o'clock kickoff. I've gone with a 3-0 home win to Manchester United in this one. Bournemouth can be good on their day, but I think it would be too much of an uphill task coming to Old Trafford. They don't have the quality we have. The form Rashford's in. I just think it'll be too much for them. So I'm going to go 3-0 Manchester United. Going into Wednesday's games, 7:30, Southampton versus Nottingham Forest. I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Both teams desperate for points. Forest getting a really massive point against Chelsea recently. And Southampton struggling. But they were my predicted flop team of the season, and it's going that way at the moment. But I'm going with them to grab a point each in this one, 1-1. 7:45 kickoff on Wednesday, Leeds versus West Ham. I've gone with a 2-0 home win to Leeds. West Ham, I'm really surprised of how bad they're doing this season, because they've still got the majority of their squad they've had for recent years, but they're just not performing. I think Rice will leave soon as well. And yeah, it's not looking good for West Ham, but I'm shocked at how bad they are at the moment. And I think Leeds, with the energy they have, being at home, the enthusiasm with the crowd, the speed at which they play, some of the youngsters coming through there look really decent. I've gone with a 2-0 home win to Leeds. Next up, 8 o'clock, Aston Villa versus Wolves. I've gone with a boring 0-0 draw in this one. I hope I'm wrong and I hope there is goals. But I think both teams struggle to score a lot. And I think they'll cancel each other out in this one. I'm going with a 0-0. 8 o'clock, final game of Wednesday. Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. I've gone with a 2-1 home win to Palace in this one. Tottenham really bottling it again. The squad they've got, they really shouldn't be losing as many games as they are at the moment and conceding first goals and stuff. Like, the amount of times they go behind in games is ridiculous with the squad and the talent they have in that team. But they don't perform, and football is beautiful for that, because you can have brilliant names on paper and when you look at them and think they could be winning titles or challenging at least, and they're nowhere near it because the inconsistency. I've gone with a 2-1 home win to Palace. I love what Vieira's doing there with the team. I love the likes of Elise, Eze. Zaha's the mainstay in that club as well, can always chip in with his goals, offers the leadership. I love what Palace are doing, so I'm going to go 2-1 home win to Palace. On Thursday, we've got Chelsea versus Manchester City in a blockbuster game. Hopefully it is anyway. Chelsea struggling at the moment. I hope for their sake they can get something from the game. They're at home, but I just think City at the moment, with the form they're in, Haaland is a beast. I don't see anything other than 3 points for City, but it's Chelsea. They could turn up and on any given day do what they can do. So, but they are struggling. There's talks of Potter potentially getting the sack this morning as well. He's got to have a board meeting tomorrow, apparently. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at the moment. I still think they was wrong to sack Tuchel when they did. So we know what Chelsea are like in terms of turnovers of managers and just the patience within that club for results. It's very short term. I think it's going to be another loss for them in this one. I'm going to go 2-0 Man City away win. And then lastly for this game week, guys, next Thursday, we've got Fulham versus Chelsea. 8 o'clock kickoff. I've gone with a 2-1 home win to Fulham. I just think they've got the confidence at the moment. They've got more belief. Mitrovic is banging in the goals. They're at home. And I just think there's a better atmosphere and environment around that team at the moment than there is at Chelsea. So it'd be interesting to see. Chelsea should be winning that game, even though the table says otherwise and the form table says otherwise. But they're still a big team, Chelsea. So they got to be trying to get points from them types of games. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win to Fulham in that one. That's it for Game Week 19 predictions, guys. Premier League predictions. Let me know yours in the comments. Appreciate everyone subscribing. And I'll catch you soon.